Hi guys, Scatlink here. Welcome to my modding showcasing sub-series, Hats Off to You, a series of which we try out community-created hats, costumes, functions, singular levels, full chapters, or time rifts created by the Hat in Time fan community via the Steam Workshop. This will also include any challenge roads of which will have their own video dedicated to earning ourselves a trophy, of which would otherwise be permanently missed. In the last episode of Hats Off to You, we started off with Case 3 of Ace Attorney, A Hat in Crime. Case 3, the Alpine Turnabout. We did the first investigation where Bo Kid's being a bitch. That's literally all I can say. We're investigating murders in the windmill and we've only done the base. That is it. Also, we tried out the demo / April Fool's version of the third case that was released earlier this year. Obviously, this mod's been out for only a couple of weeks, so that's why we're doing this now. We've already done the first investigation, so I would say that the first rebuttal, as the game actually tells you as soon as you complete a chapter, so I don't need to do any check-in, the game itself will tell me, so that's really helpful. It's time for the first rebuttal. Oh, this is the thumbnail for all of the chapters. You know what? I'm fine with that, because it's all happening mostly in real time, but it's been split up for the most part. The first act could have used another split, but it probably would have been too short for the investigation. I tell you, lady, you're crazy. You think I could have done it? I would have done such a thing, therefore I should not be the killer. You dig? There are many shouldn'ts, couldn'ts, or wouldn'ts in life, Mr. Freebird. Or shall I say Mr. Did It? Okay, ignoring what you just said, Bo Kid, you're wrong. Or shall I say Miss Wrong Kid? Well, hey! You're the wrong one, I'll prove it with my testimony. You know, naturally a testimony of perfection, one that only foolish fools can foolishly challenge foolishly. Bo, I will break your pecking kneecaps if you say that one more time. Watch me! That's what you said last time when I said Nickel Samurai is a better show than Steel Samurai. Yes, I'm still mad about that. You're mega wrong, turbo wrong. In space wrong. Sorry, we just went through a bunch of Power Ranger seasons. Imagine liking Nickel Samurai. Yes, of course, but enough about your bad taste. Let me begin my testimony. Since I can't evolve backwards to speak your language of foolishness, allow me to keep this as brief as possible. See, she's a bitch! That's all I can say. Again, with these graphics I'm not used to. If you aren't aware, Mr. Freebird's radio station is hosted in the residential area of the windmill, all the way up there next to the rest of the windmill workers. Is it? I thought he was doing it on the main island. He, of course, is the only one aside from the workers who had easy access to the windmill and therefore could easily access to the crime scene before the murder. At around 10 AM, he could have went down to the windmill with Mr. Wan and then pushed him off. And his motive? The raffle tickets, obviously. He was going to kill them for their raffle money. Mr. Wan's ticket was the key to winning big. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. He wasn't even in the top 3. The other two were in the top 3. Yep, it's that simple. And they call you a prosecutor. Your first on-the-fly moan was a lot harder, but that's too obvious. So your assertion is that Alan did it because he was in the position to do so? And because Mr. Wan was the raffle winner? Mr. Freebird, please answer honestly. Were you in the position to attack, or one that could be used as a way to reach Mr. Wan? Perhaps. Well, yes, I was, but that don't make me a killer, you dig? Oh, but of course, being in the right place at the wrong time does not make a killer make. Nor does being in the wrong place at the right time make an innocent. Ergo, well, here we go. The fool must prove that this was not the case. Please feel free, Hattie. Oh, I sure will. A perfect testimony is not a correct person make. Attempting to speak of a higher stature does not make a fool into anything more than a fool. Or it does amplify the fool's own foolishness. I seriously cannot take this. I'm at my pecking limit. She actually looks like she's going to cry. I think that's due to the dye I'm wearing. Look at that. Okay. Let's get to the one with the winning tickets, because he was not. All the way to the next to the women workers. Next statement. Easy access to women for easy access to the crime scene before the murder. Next statement. Around 10 AM. Isn't there like... Was it 10 AM? Wasn't he not supposed to be doing his radio show during 10 AM? Raffle winners. I mean, I'm probably sure this isn't the right thing. Not so fast. This hasn't been proves you wrong. The only proves how wrong you are, Hattie. Come back in 10 years, you may have a chance to take me down. Oh. Fair enough, then. Could have went with Mr. 1. In his motive, the raffle tickets he was going to kill for the raffle money was the key to winning big. That's not true. That's definitely not true. This, definitely no. Because we went over the evidence in the last episode, and if I go to the crime details... Dead 1 was the first one we found, and he is, funnily enough, number 1. Oh, and also, confirmed casualties, by the way. That's been changed now, because we also edited something before we could check it again. 1 died of very high fall, 5 ate expired food, died of food poisoning, 7 was crushed by a large windmill block. All zip lines temporarily shut down, they were all restarted today. However, shortly after, a body was discovered, so the zip lines were still functioning without permission. Nope, that's not the one then. Which one is it? It's the raffle tickets. Quite a few raffle tickets were scattered on victims' bodies. 1 had a ticket in their pocket. 0152. Nothing else. 5 had a raffle ticket in their pocket. Number 1455. This was 3rd place. 7 had a raffle ticket. 3112. 2nd place. 1 did not have the winning ticket. It wasn't even in the top 3. How did she get that wrong? She gave me the goddamn tickets. Yes. Present it. That's too obvious. That was way easier than the first one. The one in the last episode, because they stuck one in there, because, like I said, Bokid was being a bitch. Hey Bokid, there's a pretty simple and straightforward testimony. There isn't any holes with it. Oh, but of course, did you object just to say that? I hope you have more, Hattie. Oh, but don't worry, Bo. I have some else. Look, I had some else lined for you. Oh? What do you have, Hattie? Do tell. Oh yes, listen up, Bo. Currently, your assumption is based entirely off of a motive, and only circumstantial evidence. Of course, I still need to disprove it. Your argument is that the raffle tickets could be a motive for murder due to their extremely high value, right? Yeah, what's the issue? The issue is pretty simple. That's invalid for one reason. The raffle ticket found on Mr. 1 isn't even 3rd place. It was a failing number. So how could this be a motive to kill him? If anything, he would more of a reason to kill 5 and 7, not Mr. 1. Wait, is it really? Is it actually a failing number? No way. Well, Chief got something wrong. That's a genuine mistake? Chief, are you feeling alright today? Surely Chief was paying attention, right? Or is she really slipping? Shh, quiet, all of you. Even the greatest minds can sometimes slip up. It's one way we can show we are still but people. We still have souls. Well, one of those things is true for me. What? But alas, listen, Hat Kid. Just because I slipped up doesn't render my argument invalid. One of those things is true? What do you mean? How is it still valid? Don't worry about my lack of a soul for now. We'll talk about that later. Lack of a soul? I said we would talk about it later. Now then. I may have slipped up, but I can recover from this. Yes, I appear to have made a mistake. I'm thinking that Juan's ticket was a winning ticket. That's on me. But Hattie, I'm not done testifying. Not done! You're going to testify again. If only there was a better word, I'm just presenting a second statement. I'm not a witness. But yes, a second testimony for the lack of a better term. Ah, peg. Here we go again. You had to stick that meme in there somehow, didn't you? Good lord. Witness testimony again. I mean, if you had to make a second one, it's not perfect, is it? Okay, maybe Alan didn't kill Mr. 1. That doesn't mean he didn't kill other victims. Apparently I was mistaken about which ticket was which, so then he went to kill 7 and 5. But those two wouldn't have been at the windmill when Mr. 1 died. So this is where the severed ropes come into play. He cut them in such a way that such a time would end up killing 7. And then, of course... Wait. Yeah, you're right. Oh, sorry, I was thinking that was... No, 1 was the one who got squished. No, 1's the one at the front. Okay, I'm forgetting who's who. He cut them in such a way that time would end up killing 7, and then, of course, he was the one to poison 5. And he would plan to return to the scene later to claim the tickets. It's as simple as that, Hattie. Freebird came down to rig the windmill at 10:30, right when the zip lines were opened. I thought the zip line was supposed to be open at 10. That should clear it up, no? I think she's being too high and mighty, being all smart alecky by making the time longer than it should be. So that's the testimony. Well, it's not one bit a perfect testimony. I hope you're ready for me to counter it yet again. Counter it again? No way in heck! My testimony is one of perfection. Like the last two? Listen here, you spamming fraud of an attorney! I've done no such thing! Except for maybe the first one, but it gave me the option to clock back. I didn't hit reset or close down the game or anything, so shut up! If there's anything wrong with the testimony, then say it. Why so agitated, Bo Kid? Could it be that you actually don't believe in your testimony? Or here's a better question. Why is there a reason you're rapid-firing accusations? Ahem. My motives are complex, Hattie. I couldn't expect you to understand. Try me. Why don't you prove me wrong first? It's my job to accuse people, and it's your job to prove me wrong. If you can't do it, then it means I'm right. She's faded back into a smug facade. Bo, I don't think that's how it works. Don't you know the saying, Hattie? History is written by the victors. The winner is righteous, the loser is the evil one. In the end, it doesn't matter who was right or what the truth is. The truth is irrelevant, and the victors decide what the truth is. For peck's sake, she's such an edgelord. Is this what being a prosecutor makes you into? Okay, Bo Kid, let's play it by your rules. The victor decides what the truth is, the loser is the evil one. In that case, victory will be on the side of the truth. Very good. Show me the so-called truth then. Prove me wrong. Become the victor of truth. This is a bit of a dramatic. I love the dialogue, I really do. This is some excellent writing. I really want to play like the Ace Attorney games. Just getting a hold of the trilogy at the moment. It's not exactly on the tables at the moment. I really want to play them. Okay, so maybe he killed the other victims there. There's nothing wrong with that. Apparently he was mistaken for which ticket was which, so then he went to kill 7 and 5. But those two wouldn't have been at the windmill. Why? 7 and 5. 5 was poisoned, 7 was crushed. Crushed by machinery, poisoned by cake. We're not entirely sure if it was in fact poison, but we'll analyse it shortly. I'm sure for this time, 5 and 7 were the targets, as they both had winning tickets. The poison cake could have been set up ahead of time, then all that leads to the crushing via fallen machinery. That block was suspended by rope, and it was sturdy too. The only way it could have fallen was if the support ropes had tied down the whole windmill were cut. Right. That's where... Yes, I was getting to it. This is where the severed ropes come into play. He cut them in such a way, at such a time, that would end up killing 7. And of course, he was the one to poison 5. Next statement. We then plan to return to the scene later, claim the tickets. I'll press that first before presenting, so I'm pretty sure that's the wrong time. It comes back to the tickets. Of course, the tickets were quite important. Right, he didn't come down earlier? No, he couldn't. All zip lines weren't functioning until 10 AM. Of course, he couldn't kill 5 and 7 if he came down at 10 AM, so he would have had to wait a bit, so I'm estimating around 30 minutes. I'm unsure how Juan died, but we'll figure that out later. The important thing is that he came down at 10:30. Okay, so that cleared it up. That's what I was trying to look into. Oh, hello! They're chiming in! According to our investigations, the other victims came down before the second shutdown. I was the first to discover the body, and Juan was the only one who was there at the time. Yeah, you came running to tell me what had happened very quickly. Good on you, Micah. Previous statement. Right, let's have a look here. We're still talking about the person who's accused. So if I go to the Sky High Radio schedule, he would have had to announce the winners beforehand. So why would he have waited? Because the show would have been still going on at that point. He would have been announcing the winners right then and there. So this would be the evidence. No, it's not. Huh? Freebird came down to rig the windmill at 10:30. Why? I just said that he wouldn't have been able to because he would have been busy with his show at 10. Duh! It would have already happened. That was my idea. Crime details. Many victims have been told... They could use them without authorization. That might be what I'm after. Bokid. Hattie? This isn't right. You can't call Mr. Freebird a killer because I have definite proof there's no possible way it could have been him. Definitive? Mm-hmm. That's right, Bo. 100% genuine proof. But what is it now? Calm down. The prosecutor should stay calm at all times, yes? Yeah. Now then, you stated that he came down at 10:30 to rig the windmill, causing a chain reaction. That's your claim. But if he really was indeed the killer, this would be impossible. Why so? Because that would mean that he arrived either very shortly before the windmills were closed or entirely after. It's 100% impossible to get past the police and take the windmill without them noticing. So it only leaves them arriving before the shutdown, right? Oh, I get it. Yep. If he were to have been here before the shutdown, then he could not leave the scene without getting caught. It would be impossible. The police would have caught him that way. Without any way to leave, how could he return to the crime scene? And the entry points have been logged by the police, haven't they, Micah? Oh yeah, they were logging who entered and left. No one could have entered without going through me. And yeah, Freebird never left or entered until much, much later. In fact, I actually saw him all the way back in the Central Mountain. Yeah, he was back in the Central Mountain! Also, I just noticed you have a spore on your forehead. I only just realised that until now. Was that there in the previous episode? Come on, are you serious? This is not my day. So then, Bo, how could Mr. Freebird possibly be the killer if he had no way to escape? But... Listen, I'm not wrong. You're wrong. No. Why am I... wrong? Really? Are you serious? Maybe you shouldn't have been rapid fire. Nah, the police got us some juice boxes, started setting up for the second investigation as more information was needed. Really? It was that short? We're only 20 minutes in. Okay, well, that was a lot quicker than expected. Why was the first act so long? I mean, I know I was exploring and whatnot, but at the same time we had to gather evidence twice effectively, with a rebuttal or whatever in between. Maybe I should have split the last episode into two. I don't know. Should I? I don't know. I mean, if I split, like, the demo off in another episode, I mean, I know, I'm going through all of this, and this would have already happened by now. You know what? I'm going to stick to my guns. We're doing every chapter as their own thing. So, this just turned out to be quite short. So, in the next episode, guys, we're going to continue on with Case 3, Act 3, the second investigation. See you guys then.